You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh,
you know what time it is. Raw with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. And it's Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the uttermost to the public housing. And if we don't play, our wide receivers got your secondary shook, so they cook them like Bobby Flay. Hey, stay out of my way and trust me, cause I know it's OH. Somebody please give this brother an IO. Come on.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. That's Mello. And tonight we have on a friend of the channel, friend of the Buckeye Boys, one of the top safeties in the 2027 class out of Texas, Eli Johnson. Eli, how you doing, bro?
Amazing. Blessed.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you joining us again. Mello, how's your day, man?
Man, I'm good. You know, my son's Tesla's still in the shop. I told him, man, you need to go back to gas, But I gotta take him to work at like 8:30 tonight. So that's not been fun. But other than that, I'm doing good. Glad to see you guys. Glad to talk to another top safety in America. You know how we love safety position here at Ohio State and at the Buckeye Boys.
Yeah, no doubt. Chat, we appreciate you guys joining us, all the regulars in there. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. And the super chats are open. You got anything you want to ask, put it in there, and we will get that question asked for you. Well, man, Ohio State has been dipping into the state of Texas these past couple classes and pulling out some pretty good football players. We're finding out now in camp just how good those football players are. There are freshmen that are going to see the field at Ohio State, and that's a mouthful in itself, man. But you, Eli, you're in the 27 class. The Buckeyes have been in contact with you, but let's take it back a little bit for the listeners that did not hear the first interview. Just give us a little prenup, man, of, hey, how'd you get into football and how'd you get to where you're at right now?
Yeah, so I have an older brother. He's 4 years older than me. So whenever he was Little League, I was probably about 3 years old. I was the water boy for the team. So I've been around the football for literally my whole life. And what got me up to there is just last summer, I kind of put myself on the map a little bit, getting a couple offers, and that motivated me more to just work harder. So, and then this summer, whenever I got the opportunity to go up to the camp when they invited me, I just took it. And it was up from there.
Yeah.
So what was that experience like at the camp? I'm not trying to skip over, but since you already brought that up, I want to know what your experience was at the camp and what did you think of the coaching staff and your interaction and the players that were there? And what kind of stuff did they have you do? What was the most fun part of the camp for you?
So the coaching staff they're like all down to earth people. You would expect a big name school like that for the coaches to be like a little, not uptight, but like professional.
Mm-hmm.
And there's cool dudes, real cool dudes. And the camp was what was it? One-on-one's obviously my favorite part.
Yeah.
Get to compete, show the coach what you can do. But yeah, it was a great experience. Real cool dudes.
Yeah. I think last time we're not big on like rankings on this channel. We watch film, and watching your film, man, it's very obvious that what are you, 6'3"? It says you're 6'3", 200. Is that pretty close to what you're at about right now? Yeah. And watching your film, man, at least it's pretty obvious to me that you're one of the top safeties in the country. You're top 100 in the rankings right now. And you're camping at Ohio State, doing all those things. So what type of training? You said you got a little bit of motivation after you got some offers, man. So what did that motivation look like? What have you been doing since then? Have you made any changes in your training? Have you got a different training coach? Maybe weight room stuff? What is it that you're doing?
So my schedule, well, since the summer's coming to an end, it's a little different. But the whole summer, probably working out 3 or 4 times a day. I would do morning workout with the school, come out, probably like an hour later, go on the field, get my own DB work in, and then later in the day, I have a trainer. He trains 4 days a week on the field for an hour, and then in the gym for an hour. So that's my third and fourth workout of the day. And if I keep doing that consistently, 4 workouts a day, is only up from there. Like,
Yeah. Have you noticed some pretty big changes in your body and how you can move on the field and stuff?
Completely different. Like, I feel like I'm in like the best shape I've ever been in. Honestly, yeah. I'm so excited for the season.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. So Eli, I have a question. As a safety, what is the requirement to be an elite safety, such as yourself? Is it just technique? Is it being able to read the game, communication? Is it pad level? Is it speed? Is it just not being scared to hit? Or is it ball hawking skills? What would you say makes an elite safety?
I'd say speed, mainly because with speed, if you're beat on a receiver, you could just catch up with your speed. That's the main part. And then obviously being able to lower your shoulder and hit somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt, man. We talked to you a while back, and like I said, that was super early in your recruitment. It's still early in your recruitment. You got teams reaching out to you. You're camping from time to time. Before we get into teams specifically, I wanted to ask you, dang, dude, I had a really good question, dude, and I just blanked on it. It's going to come back to me. But in the meantime, you said Ohio State reached out. What other schools are reaching out to you right now?
I got like a handful of them, but the most consistent ones has definitely been Ohio State, Oklahoma, and UT, Baylor, Texas A&M. Those I'd say are the ones that stick out to me so far.
Yeah,
that's been reaching.
Okay, I remember what I wanted to ask you now. So, as a 2027 guy, this early in the recruiting process, as a recruit, what is it that you're trying to accomplish with your, relationships with the teams? Is there anything in specific, or are you just kind of sitting back, letting relationships form how they're forming? Do you have a list of things that you're already starting to look at and narrow anything down? Is that where you're at in your process at all?
I'm not really narrowing it down yet. I'm trying to do that towards the end of my junior season. So, like, when it starts to get a little bit more serious in the recruitment process, because right now I'm just, like, focusing on building relationships. So, once I see the consistency and who's reaching out and stuff like that, I'll take that into consideration and narrow it down from there.
Yeah.
So, my question is kind of along the same lines, but it's more of about a distance thing.
Yeah.
How important is it to be close to home? Are you scared to have a little bit of a distance somewhere where you have to take a flight for school if it's the right fit for you?
Yeah, my mom asked me the same thing about considering Ohio. I was like, I really don't mind, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it would probably be a good thing for me to just grow up, I guess.
Yeah.
Being away from home and not having to rely on anybody. So, yeah. It doesn't mind. I don't mind.
Well, since we're a Ohio State specific show, I'm always curious about this. Right now, where you're sitting, you're just starting to form relationships. You've been to a couple camps and whatnot. But if you had to list like 2 or 3 things right now that stand out the most about Ohio State, like the NFL development, you see Caleb Downs there. You see the safeties that they have there. You see a couple of Texas kids going there. That's another thing on the list. But what is it right now at this point in time in your recruiting process that makes you want to keep, talking to Ohio State and keep them on the list?
Yeah. So the main part is when I was up there, they had asked me what I'm looking for, and I said faith, family feel, and winning. And then it wasn't even like he planned that or he knew I was gonna say that. And right when I said that, he turned on the screen and showed me, and that's exactly what it said on the screen. So that's one thing. That was crazy. And then winning, they obviously just won the national championship, so that's a great thing. And then their coaching staff is like almost all NFL experience, which is where I'm trying to go. So that's
absolutely
a big part of it.
Does it help that Ohio State likes the state of Texas, that there's a lot of commits from Texas that come to Ohio State, a lot of elite commits? You have Devin Sanchez, you have Riley Pettijohn. You have James Peoples just on this current team. You also had Jeff Okudah back in the day. You had G5 Garrett Wilson, one of the greatest wide receivers to ever play at Ohio State. I have him on my Mount Rushmore, just behind Chris Carter and JJ. Does that affect play an effect on you in terms of like you see the success that Texas high school kids have coming here, and you also have Peyton Pierce as well?
So obviously that's crazy. Now I think about it, how much talent they've brought up from Texas. Now I think about it, yeah, that's great to hear. I never really thought of it like that. But
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, there's an uptick, man. Ohio State has really been focusing on, dipping their hand into the state of Texas, and they've been able to form some really good relationships. We're pretty close with both the Pettijohn and the Sanchez's. Both their dads come on this channel and them. And the thing about it is, it's when we talk to the families and we talk to recruits such as yourself, there's a very specific recruit that Ohio State is looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And above all, even I think above what you can do on the football field, they look at the cultural and brotherhood aspect of it, right? So we always hear about that at Ohio State, and we've noticed that, they're not going to go after a kid if he's not like mature above his years, which you are. We've interviewed before, and we see that, man. At how old are you?
16.
Yeah, that's wild to even think about, man, because the way these recruits such as yourself answer questions, the way they are serious about their training and about off-field stuff. You mentioned faith. So can you explain to us, what is it about the culture of Ohio State that is attractive from a recruit like yourself? And then what are those parts of that culture that you got to experience during your time there, or just with communicating with the coaches?
Yeah, the culture, like, whenever they were looking to recruit me, they said that the first time I went up there, it was earlier. It was in the spring, and that was like a test, I guess, to like see my character and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And they said when I went up there the second time, they told me that they could have offered me the first time, but they wanted to see who I really was. So they got to see my character, saw that I was like serious and mature, and they said that's the type of people that they look for when recruiting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. You ooze that, by the way. But so what is one of the most important things in terms of Ohio State that stands out to you as a recruit that's attractive? And what is one thing that maybe they could work on to or improve?
Mm-hmm. Whenever I was up there, it was definitely the coaching part. Even though they won the national championship, and that's really cool and all, but the coaching staff and the way they coached on the field was a big part of like why I'm interested in them, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. Ohio State now has 3 former NFL defensive coordinators on their coaching staff. They just hired another one, man. So they're doing it all over the place. This coaching staff is absolutely ridiculous, man. But I kind of wrapping up here a little bit. Here on this channel, man, Jesus has saved me and Melo's lives. We talk about it all the time, the faith in our lives that we've had. I heard you mention it, man. At 16 years old, man, I'm gonna be honest, it's one of the coolest things to hear a teenager bring up and talk about, to me anyway. So can you explain that to me? What do you mean by what does that mean in your life? And does it maybe affect your decision? Well, you already said it's on your top 3 list. So explain why you want that to affect your decision.
Obviously, because that's the main thing. Without him, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Yeah, I keep him first in everything that I do, and just always be thankful. Like I said, I wouldn't be here without him, and just that's really it. I'm thankful.
Amen, man.
Yeah,
amen,
absolutely.
Brother.
For me, it's the same. I was in the military, deployed to Afghanistan twice, had a couple close calls. Like, if it wasn't for Jesus, I really shouldn't even be here talking to you guys right now. Some of the stuff that I went through. West Point still does case studies with their officer candidates, missions that I ran. So Jesus played a major part in my life and just keeping me alive and keeping me here. It just gives you that sense of purpose. Like, I didn't fulfill my purpose. I'm still trying on the road to figure out what my purpose is that he has for me. But I think that's what everybody should be striving for, to figure out their purpose. But you got to keep God first, right?
Oh yeah.
So, like, if you do that, everything tends to work out.
Yeah.
And you can see it immediately, especially if you're a chosen one. When you kind of stray away, stuff just kind of goes haywire in your life almost immediately. So I salute you on that, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, you got a big time season coming up, bro. Big time offers. I'm gonna be honest, man. When I sit back and think about somebody in your position, like, this is a pretty instrumental part of your life. It's life changing, man. When you get an offer from Ohio State, I mean, those offers, you keep doing what you're doing. I mean, the rest of them are going to start flowing in. I think I saw Oregon on there, and you said A&M, and I mean, you're going to be offered by everybody. You keep doing what you're doing. But last question for me. I know I already said the last one was my last one, but this one really is my last one, dude. What goals do you have for both yourself and for your team this upcoming season? Like, what can we expect to see from you? Because we will be following your career. Yeah. Buckeye fans that are psychos about recruiting, we really want you to be a Buckeye. I just want you to know that. But tell us the goals for this upcoming season, man.
So I want to break the single season pick record at my school, which is 7. That's the goal I want to break. And then obviously be all district, all state. And then for my team, well, for me, I want to become just be a better leader, like vocal leader, and just step into that leadership role. Because last year I had a couple guys over me that were some pretty big names. So I had to kind of my steps into being a leader. So this year I'm excited to finally take on that role. And hopefully our team, we will go to state and win state.
There we go.
So yeah.
That's what we love to hear. So I just have one last question. It's about your twin. I saw that you have a twin brother. How's he doing? You think we could get him on the channel? According to 247, you have a twin brother. So we try to get
I've been meaning to bring that up.
Deal to come to Ohio State? That's all I'm wondering.
That's funny. So the funny thing, though, the reason why I'm laughing is because we are not related at all.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We're with each other 24/7. Even people that see us every day ask us if we're brothers or related.
Yeah.
We tell people that we're cousins. We just tell people, but we're not related at all.
Yeah. Let me make this clear for the chat. Chat, we're not big on the big time recruiting services. You know how we feel, how they make recruits look. Well, this is a new one for you. Over there on 247, if you look up, Eli Johnson, Texas safety 2027, you will see in his profile that he, in fact, has a twin brother in the same class named Trey Johnson, plays for the same team and everything, right? So, but it's not his twin brother. You just heard him. They're not related whatsoever, but 247 literally has them twin brothers, not just brothers. No, twin brothers, man. So that's a new one. And that's not true. So if you are relying on these big time recruiting services for accurate information, I would slow your roll down a little bit. They get some stuff right, but slow your roll down a little bit. Eli, this question isn't from me, but we're letting you go after this. It's from the chat, man. They want to know, do you like the Ohio State jerseys?
Love them. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Probably top 2 jerseys in college right now.
Yes. Oh, we love that, man.
Yeah. It'll go for Oregon, then Ohio State.
You said Oregon first?
Yeah, Oregon, then Ohio State.
Okay. Yeah,
I could get with that. I'm not gonna lie. I could get with that.
I'm not. Yeah, I can too, man. They spend a lot of time on their jerseys. We at Ohio State focus a little more on winning national titles. But anyway, dude. Anyway.
Hold up. Mello, Lucia wanted to say. Yeah, Lucia wanted. We're gonna read this comment because it's about Eli. Shout out Lucia for the $5. Just because I appreciate these recruiting interviews. Keep up the hard work, Eli.
IO.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, people love these. Lucia tells us all the time, so appreciate you, Lucia, for giving us that $5. Eli, we appreciate the heck out of you too, man. We're going to, keep in touch, follow you along with the season. Mel, you got any final words?
Oh yeah, man! I can't wait to see you ball out this season. Definitely, as you go along, if you get any film or stuff, just DM us so
Yeah.
we can break it down with the fans. They love that kind of
Yep.
stuff. You know what I mean? We love watching it as well, and we want to keep in contact with you and watch you grow in your maturation in the process that you're going through. Like it's very interesting. This is our passion. Recruiting is the lifeblood of any program, so you're actually very important, right? So like. Hopefully you end up a Buckeye. We know is at the end of the day, it's a business. Towards the end, we started realizing that this year, but we hope you end up in the Scarlet and Gray, baby.
Yeah, yes, sir. I forgot to tell y'all, I'm going to the Penn State, Ohio State versus Penn State game.
That's a good one.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's a real good one to go to, man. But
You
yeah,
have
like
a
I
game
said,
the next week? I mean, I'm sorry, the previous day though. Do you have a game that Friday?
Yeah, I do have that game.
First, the Penn State game.
So yeah, what if the Penn State game's a noon kickoff? You still gonna try to make it?
It is a noon.
I forgot what time it said, but I was supposed to be able to make it because I think it starts at 6:30. So
Wow,
okay.
I'll be able to make that game.
It's a noon kickoff Eastern.
Oh, okay.
It's on Fox, big noon.
Pretty sure. I don't know if that's bye week or not. I have to check it out, but I'm going to that Penn State game.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked you is just it's a big deal. They always put Ohio State on big noon because that's television contract stuff. That's the contract they sign. They put them at big noon. But we always are curious how that affects recruiting. But Eli, we appreciate you, man, for coming on again. Like I said, we'll get you back on again here in the future. Tell your mom, your family, we said thank you for letting you come on here, and we appreciate you coming on, man, and look forward to interviewing you again in the future, brother.
Yep, appreciate y'all.
Thank you, brother.
Stay blessed, man.
Yes, sir, you as well.
Yep.
We got another super chat real quick. I'm going to read it.
Yeah, we're gonna do a couple other updates.
Okay, yeah. I was just gonna read it, knock this one out.
Yeah.
Jeffrey McDowell, thanks for the $5. So thankful you're still here, Mello. You and Dev are touching lives. Thank you, Jeffrey. We're trying. Like that's one thing that me and Devin talked about and discussed before we started this channel. That we were going to wear our faith on our sleeves, and if people didn't want to rock with us because some people don't like that, then so be it, even if we lose viewerships. But we think like that's part of the calling and the part of the mission. We're supposed to testify and try to put the message out there. So we're proud to be Christian. We're proud of our backgrounds. We know Jesus saved us, and we'll never deny Jesus, period, because at the end of the day, if you deny him, he's going to deny you when it actually matters. So always keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And that stems to our second passion for why we do these interviews. These interviews don't get a ton of views. They don't get as many views as if we were to get on here and talk about camp updates or something. But man, we love, especially man, when, like I said, when I hear a recruit talk about Jesus at 16 years old and know they're going to be a Division I college football player, like imagine the amount of people that they can impact in this world by expressing their faith. Like I can only imagine how many people TreVeyon Henderson has affected because all he talks about is Jesus. Yep. And he's having 100-yard kickoff returns in the NFL. Before that, he won a national title with the Buckeyes. So this world is so concentrated on superstars and sports stars and movie stars and all this and people. And we soak that stuff in, dude. If you watch it, our eyes and our ears, they're the windows to our soul, man. And whatever we take in, we're going to blur it out. So if we're following TreVeyon Henderson in his career and seeing how he lives his life, that's going to soak into us. It's going to soak into younger athletes that watch them as well. So we love, man, that's big time for me. I worked in ministry for a long, long time with teenagers specifically and young adults. So I love it, man. I love getting to hear like the success story of these recruits. And that's formed into a passion of giving these recruits a voice of their own, a platform they can come on and speak for themselves. I mean, the Buckeye boys, man, we have called out On 3 and 247 with so many of their lies about these recruits, Caden Dixon Wyatt, Chris Henry Jr., Aaron Thomas. I mean, we get texts from parents and recruits saying thanks like for doing that. So we're not out here being crazy doing it, man. These recruits and their parents, they don't like it either because that damages the character of these recruits. When they commit somewhere, they shut down their recruitment, and then somebody wants clicks, so they put out an article saying that they're a flip candidate. Well, that makes the recruit look like he's not good on his word. and then of course Ohio State fans are crazy, so you got a message board and they start seeing, well, if he wants to leave, then whatever, or look at him, look at this, whatever that is. And it just, like I said, people are going to say what people say, but when just explaining the passion behind this channel, like Mello started there, Jesus, and it leads to this, man. But man, before we get going on some more updates, hit that like button for us on both channels and the subscribe button on both channels. It helps us get more views, more attention on our channel. And the more that happens, the more giveaways we do on this channel, the better this channel gets. So really appreciate all your guys' support. But Mello, real quick, Ryan Day got interviewed today. And let me just ask you, dude, did he say anything that piqued your interest a little bit?
He said a lot of things that piqued my interest.
Yeah.
Let's start on the O-line, right? I think it's going to be one of the most important position groups for this season in terms of protecting the quarterback. So what I found interesting is that he said positions aren't locked in, but Austin Serville is only repping at left tackle. And Ethan and Philip Daniels are battling for right tackle. And he said by the end of this week, he'll know who's the right tackle. So in my mind, it seems like Austin Serville locked down left tackle. And then I did some research and it showed that Ethan Onawa, when he was at Rice, played right tackle against Texas and he dominated them. So, I mean, there could be something there. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I did too, because it's hard because we've just been talking for so long about the offensive line being locked, like with the positions. Like I thought it was obvious, but what's going on now is Philip Daniels and some of these other guys behind, they're just shaking this room up, man, because they're coming up, they're stepping up, and there's that competitive nature. And, we probably reported on this channel 3 months ago, hey, Philip Daniels was in line to take Tegra's job. I didn't, we came on here, reported that. People thought we were crazy. And then we talked about Philip Daniels again. And now we're here where he's being talked about in press conferences and, is pressing people for their job. Now, we could talk about all this and it could wind up, right, that Ethan's the left tackle, Austin's right, all that stuff. It could be that way, but I don't think it's going to be that way. I just don't, man. I think Philip Daniels is about to shake some things up, man. I really do. I've heard it from multiple people, like multiple sources, and not the same. These sources are in different areas around the team, right? So it's like when you're hearing it from defensive, offensive, coach, player, this, that, it's just like, golly, man, like this dude must be a real good football player, And then Gabe Van Sickle's name gets brought up, not to take a starting job, but just pressing Josh Padilla doing the same thing. But you ask, man, who would Philip Daniels replace? Who would he replace? And at this point in time, it's like, man, I don't know. Are you going to have a 6'7" guard with a 6'1" quarterback? You know what I mean? Like, so the only option would be for him to take Ethan Onionwa's, right tackle or left tackle thing. But either way, again, like we said yesterday, this is not like a knock on Ethan. Ethan's killing it. Ethan's really good. They're comfortable with him there. They're trying to find the best lineup that they can. So either way, this is producing, for the first time since I can remember, us having 3 tackles, starting level tackles, right? Minus last year. We had it last year. We just didn't know it. But you know what I'm saying? Coming into the season with 3 that would start, and Ian Moore is tearing it up as well. So I know we sound like a broken record, dude, but I don't know. It's just, this is coming from too many sources. Too many people are saying it for this just to be one of those tactics on, oh, we don't know who the starting quarterback is.
Absolutely.
That's not what this is. It's not hey man, it's a real close battle. I believe it is. And that's what I want to talk about next, Mello. But you got anything else on the offensive line?
No, that was pretty much it. I thought that was just interesting. That portion that stuck out to me the most for O-line. Everything else is kind of on par with what we already expected or thought. Yeah. This next topic, it's kind of, I don't know. It's
difficult to talk about in a sense that I love all Buckeye players and quarterbacks, and I think Lincoln Keenholz is an awesome quarterback, and it's just when we have these conversations, I think it gets perceived sometimes as,
Yeah.
well, if you got a winner, then the other one's a loser. No,
Yeah.
that's not the case here. I mean, it is, but it isn't, right? So, man, you got different people, some big time beat people, and some other big time reporters that people trust that are saying it's an actual battle, right? But then, I'm on my end, you're on your end, hearing what we're hearing from who we're hearing it from, and it's
Yeah.
just like Julian Saint's a starter. Like
Yep.
like that's the players, from my knowledge, know it.
Yep.
It's just kind of a known thing, but it makes you wonder where these people are getting that it's an actual QB battle, in the sense that it's super close and Day's going to have a really hard time picking. I mean, that was a very convincing press conference today, with what he said. I mean, you could fall on that side of, hey, this is a real quarterback battle, but I wanted to ask you, man, where are you at, dude? What do you think?
Man, I think Julian Saint is the quarterback. I think they are getting even reps because like he said, he wants to get them both prepared to play, because you never know, somebody goes down, right? He doesn't want a repeat of the Cotton Bowl from 23, right? So for
Yeah.
him, you have to get him ready, and also you have to keep Lincoln engaged because he's the backup. You don't want him bolting, and they're going to give him some playing time. They're working packages for him right now as we speak. But Julian Saint is the guy. Since he came here as a freshman, don't forget these words. Ryan Day called him a savant. He said he's never coached a quarterback that came in this intelligent ever. So you take that with his arm talent. You take the spring game when they asked Coach Hartline, what's Julian Saint's best quality? He said that he could dissect a defense pre-snap immediately. So he already knows where he's going with the ball, which means you take that, his processing skills that are elite level fast, and his release, which is elite level quick, and he's just playing at a whole nother speed than college players. He's playing at an NFL level speed, and I think that's going to show on August 30th.
Yeah. I share the sentiment that Troy shares here, where I don't care if they wait to tell us who the starting QB is until the Texas game, as long as the team knows. It doesn't matter to me. When you take a step back and you think about it, it's like, the only reason it matters to me is because, when we have these conversations about what we can hope to see in the future, we need to either talk about Lincoln Keenholz and his legs and his athleticism, or we need to talk about Julian Saint and his super fast processing feed and, noodle he's got for an arm slinging that thing, right? So, it's a game we always play. And I saw somebody in the chat, say as well, this is what the beat does every offseason. And that's a known thing, just so you know. Like, the beat wouldn't – the beat is only allowed to say certain things.
Right.
They have a structure that they have to stay on inside of in order to stay considered a beat. And they are privy to like inside information, but they're not allowed to share that inside information most of the time. So it becomes a sticky, sticky situation when you're in on that. When you're
and
on
it
that
doesn't
beat
make
thing.
sense for them to put it out there and lose their credentials. I was watching
No.
a Texas podcast, and that's what they brought up, actually, B. Moses and Nevada's show yesterday. And they're like, we're looking for all the intel we can on Ohio State and their scrimmage, and we couldn't find anything. And then this guy sends me something called Buckeye Insider. They didn't call it Buckeye Scoop. And he was like, and I'm watching, in the first 17 minutes, he's just talking about how he purchased tickets to the Texas game, but then they don't talk about anything about the football team. I'm like, that's interesting, because they said a whole lot. And they were like, well, we want play-by-play, like who scored a touchdown? What did they do on 3rd and long? Like, what? Why does that matter? They're giving you what Buckeye Scoop did yesterday was they broke down the concepts of what kind of concepts they're going to run against Texas to win the game, which I think is more valuable than, what Texas insiders are saying about Arch Manning hit a 37-yard touchdown pass to Ryan Ringel. We know you're going to throw big plays, but at the end of the day, what kind of system are you going to run to beat us? Because if you run that same system you did in the Cotton Bowl, you're going to get the same results, probably by a wider margin.
Yeah. Day did say something today that gave me some comfortability in terms of this quarterback battle. And it's something I never really thought about, but it's the fact that last year there were 5 quarterbacks in the room, which made them have to disperse a lot of reps, like a lot of reps between all these quarterbacks. And this year, it's not that way. Like last year, they wanted Julian Saying to get some 1 reps as well. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like they wanted him in there for that as well. But this year, it's Lincoln and Saying they're getting all the reps, the meaningful reps in that. Now,
Yeah.
Tavian St. Clair, he's getting a lot of reps too, but you go from 5 to 3 quarterbacks, scholarship quarterbacks, that allows you the ability to, give some more reps to, Saying and Keenholt. So, that was something encouraging to hear. Another piece of a little tidbit from the scrimmages I haven't heard anybody bring up, but Taiwan Malone, I was told, has stepped up as well, and that's kind of what we're looking at. The defensive tackle position, we've heard names. Will Smith Jr. Got some hype earlier, a little bit before fall, a little bit in the fall. He put that weight on and whatnot. And Taiwan Malone, I forget. I think he was a really sought after recruit in high school. I know he was. Played multiple sports at Ole Miss, came here to Ohio State, and Larry Johnson was thrilled when he got him. He said nothing but like the perfect, 3-tech body or whatever he said, and always had all these things, but he never did get on the field. And Larry would always say, man, he's got the skills. He's got the physical attributes. He just got to be consistent. Yeah. That was the thing that he always said. So, man, I think this dude, you go watch his high school film, man, he's, in high school anyway, he was pretty dominant, man, to get it and a recruit to get excited about. So if he gets it together, and he can, just because you got film on him and he didn't play a lot last year, man, sometimes these dudes have been in a program for a while. They're physically ready and all that, but it just takes that one day, that little extra bit of confidence, that one play for something to just click in their head, and then kaboom, dude, they step up and they get it done, man. And with Edric Houston being out, it's kind of like the offensive line last year. Edric Houston, a little bit broken up, so they got to put these other guys have to come in. But what does that do? It gives these other guys reps with the first team. And the truth of the matter is that, man, I heard somebody talk about Joe Burrow the other day, and they said Joe Burrow was a horrible camp quarterback and wasn't very good in practice either. But when you turn the lights on and you put him in front of the stadium, the dude is lights out, man. So that's the reality of some of these players, man. Yeah. So when some of these guys get in with the first team, step up, show out. So Taiwan Malone is somebody, that we heard about. So Jason Moore is another one that the Buckeye fans always want to hear about, but we don't, man. And there's Eric Mensah in that mix as well. So Taiwan Malone is one. And of course, Kenyatta Jackson is doing Kenyatta things, and K-Mac as well. So you got anything to add to that?
It's not shocking about Taiwan Malone. You remember we interviewed his parents, right? He went to Bergen Catholic. The kid is massive, right? And he was playing. They had him lined up at wide receiver at one point, and he was routing dudes up and catching balls. Like, he's a freak. I think he even played center field for baseball at over 300 plus pounds. So he won a natty in baseball at Ole Miss. That's the reason he didn't go to Ohio State originally, because Ohio State said, no, you can't do both. Ole Miss said yes. And then after his freshman year, he realized it's going to be hard to do both because both requires 2 different type of athlete. So he decided he wanted to do football full time, and that's when he transferred to Ohio State. Because if you're going to do football full time, where else is there better to go to than to get coached up by the GOAT? So he came to Ohio State. It took him like a year to get acclimated to it and to adjust, and that's what his parents were saying. And they were just like, he's working. And we always knew from a size and athleticism standpoint, he had all the makings and tools to be elite. So that's another reason why me and Devin weren't like super down on the defensive tackle depth, because we knew that these guys from a physical nature and athletic standpoint had it. They just needed to rep and make it second nature. And once Edric comes back, the depth is going to be really good. The starting line is going to be elite. Like he said, KJ, I'm expecting over 10 sacks. I was hoping KJ would come back next year, but I really don't see him getting out the first round. in the NFL draft. So I don't expect him back next year,
Well,
but there's always a possibility you give him enough NIL money.
yeah. I think that's what this Buckeye team is focused on more than anything. You know, they'll definitely be willing to. They
Yeah.
brought JT back, and JT was a second round type grade. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Good point.
we'll see. But the Buckeyes we'll see. Okay, I want to switch gears a little bit.
Yeah.
This is the last thing, man. I need so far in fall camp. There's always buzz about players. There's players that were stars last year that we know. We don't need to talk about JJ Smith every day, right?
Yeah.
Every day he is doing stuff that is crazy, that's phenomenal. Sonny Styles, same way. Arvell Reese, same way. There's several people on this team that are doing things that we should be talking about, but we don't have time to talk about everybody. So with that being said, one player from defense and one player from offense that you think has not got enough buzz during fall camp or at this point in time, but we don't know the reason why they're not getting the buzz because they're absolutely killing the game. They're killing it. And we're definitely going to cross paths. So do you want to go first on defense or on offense?
Let's go offense. I'm going to go with Bryson Rodgers.
Okay.
Bryson Rodgers, people are sleeping on him. To me, I told him this, and he actually responded. He loved it. He loved the idea. So Bryson Rodgers ran a little camp in Florida during the off season this year. I forget what he called it, but I went in his and told him, hey, you need to next year when you do it, you need to call it elite routes. And he loved the idea because I mean, to me, Bryson Rodgers and BI are the two best route runners in America. For me, as a pure football enthusiast, watching a wide receiver run a sick route and make a DB look stupid with the separation that they getting in and out of their breaks is like it's equivalent to me as watching Allen Iverson or Kyrie Irving dribble a basketball and leaving the defender. It's just special. It touches me there. So I'm big time on that. And I think people are sleeping. I think Bryson Rodgers is directly the backup to BI. If BI goes down, don't be shocked. Bryson Rodgers is the next man up. He's going to be playing a lot this season. They're going to be splitting snaps. So I know a lot of people want to talk about QP and about Mylan Graham, but I think a lot of people are sleeping on Bryson Rodgers, period.
That's a beautiful one, and I 100% agree with you. I think Bryson Rodgers is the number 4 receiver.
Yeah.
People love that. People love that shiny new toy, and Mylan Graham is a dog, but Bryson Rodgers is a dog. If you're talking about Mylan Graham, I get he's got several more years in the program, but Bryson Rodgers he's there right now. He played a lot more last year than what you think.
Yep.
That was a pretty loaded room. And this year you could argue it's even a more loaded room with more competition going on and whatnot. And he's holding his own there. And you guys about to see, man, I like you said, split reps with BI. It's wild because my answer is Brandon Ennis. So I just feel like last year people watched him score that touchdown, the Penn State game, that delayed screen or whatever it was, and people said he was slow. And to be honest with you, I was one of them.
Yeah.
I was on the boat of, dang, he's like thick and doesn't seem like he's moving real fluid and whatnot. Well, that has changed. That has dramatically changed. A person's name that got brought up twice when, I talked to different people about this scrimmage that occurred, which was very hard to get information on. And it wasn't open to the parents. So they're keeping that thing on lockdown, man. So it's wild. But Brandon Ennis, he's the leader of the wide receiver room. He's one of the leaders of the offense, period. And he's killing it, man. I think we have 3 100 or 1,000-yard receivers this year between Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, and Max Clare. I think we'll see one of those guys getting, or 3 of those guys getting 1,000. That's playing 14 or 15 games. So we'll see what happens there. Shout out, I think it was over on the Scoop message board. I think Joe Germain maybe on there. Somebody posted a nugget and they did predictions. That was one of their predictions as well. That was one of my crazy predictions on the show we did a while ago. So
yeah, it was.
Figured I'd bring that up again. But let's go. I'm going to go for defense, man. And I just don't feel like he's been being talked about enough. I know Buckeye Nation knows about him a lot. I know they're excited about him. When I say this name, people will probably be like, what? He's getting a lot of hype. Well, I don't think so. And that is Jermaine Matthews, man. I think Jermaine Matthews, he's another name who's lighting it up. You think about it, you wonder why we say we feel like the defense is going to be faster this year. I think the aggressive nature of it, one of those reasons is because we have Jermaine Matthews as a starting corner now. Mm-hmm. I think that's one of the big reasons where we can say that this defense is a little bit different, and he's back there now. He's got a different skill set than Denzel Burke did. I know some people didn't like Denzel. I loved him, thought he did great, had a game where it wasn't so hot, but depends on how you watch football, if you want to blame that all on him or who you want to blame that on. But anyway, Jermaine Matthews is my guy. I think he's all first team, all Big Ten caliber corner, and he's going to absolutely rock it this season. And he is a leader between him and Iggy in that secondary, and then Caleb Downs as the mature coach that knows absolutely everything in that secondary. You heard Coach Day say today, Caleb, it's almost like Coach Day kind of just put the secondary on Caleb Downs and says, yeah, Caleb's got control of them back there. It's almost like coaches just gave up control to Caleb. But when them two, they are adding some fire to the secondary. And I think one of the reasons why I feel this way is because of our dude, Devin Sanchez, man. Everybody is, and rightfully so, but that should go to show you how loaded this team is. The fact that I don't feel like Jermaine Matthews is being talked about enough.
Yeah.
That's a statement, So who you got, man? I think
the reason I started on offense when you gave me that choice is because I feel like defense is the hardest one, right? In terms of this, because I think our defense is so fire. I think it's underrated, honestly, in my opinion. It's not getting talked about enough as a whole. But I'm gonna have to go with one of the Texas boys. I could have went Devin Sanchez, but I talk about him all the time. I go Riley Pettijohn, but I think he's getting talked about pretty thoroughly. They're even talking about him on the Texas podcast and saying, like, how did we let this kid get out of Texas? And they're like, we didn't recruit him hard enough. So they're talking. So I feel like he's being talked about a lot. So I'm going with the third guy, who didn't have a crazy senior year because he was injured. He came to Ohio State injured in a boot. But his numbers as a junior and as a sophomore and as a freshman in the state of Texas were astronomically insane. And that's our guy, Peyton Pierce. He is an absolute dog. He's going to get a lot of playing time this year. Don't be surprised if you see a lot of 3 linebacker sets this year, depending on who we play and he's on the field. I think he's going to put up some great numbers. I think he's ridiculous. He has he reminds me of a throwback linebacker, like in that Andy Katzmoyer kind of mold, like just a straight dog. I'm going to do the dirty work and I'm going to pound you and I'm going to hit you and I'm going to hit you and I'm going to hit you until you quit every single play. That's the type of individual that I see in Peyton Pierce. So I think we could have went a whole bunch of different ways. We could have talked about Jalen McClain. We could have talked about Malik Hartford. We could have talked about Bo Atkinson because he's killing it too. Caden Curry's killing it. There's so many guys, right? But I wanted to give a shout out to some of the Texas guys and especially Peyton Pierce because he is not getting talked about enough.
Yeah, for sure. Really, there's this is such a star-studded, team that, Ryan Day didn't answer a question today, and he was asked, "Hey, name 3 or 4 guys that had stood out in the scrimmage or whatnot?" And he was like, "Man, if I say a name, people are going to feel left out." But this is such a star-studded team that you don't have time to list. You can't just list the whole roster. You can't say, "Oh, hey, man, go down through the whole team that who stood out today." But the truth is, that's what's going on. All these defensive players are lighting it up every day, and it's reality on offense as well. You go Carnell Tate on offense as well. People, I don't know what's up with Carnell Tate. People just, I guess, because he's number 2, but Mekabuke was number 2 as well. Now he's number 1 on, what is it? Tampa
I didn't
Bay.
say Carnell Tate because he's on all the top 10 lists for wide receivers.
I know. Yeah, that's the other thing too is you get in that realm with it as well. But dang, I was gonna say something else, but once again, I forget. I don't know what's up.
You
with
was
my
reading the chat,
today. Yeah, man, I get
I
caught up
was
in that
too
thing.
because somebody's challenged me about Bryson Rogers being one of the best route runners over Carnell Tate. Carnell Tate is an exceptional route runner. Do not get it twisted. But Bryson Rogers is literally on this team because of his route running and his separation. So I challenge you to go look it up. Bryson Rogers actually has a channel where all the guys, it mostly was last season. I tried to tell him he needs to start doing it again this season. He did actually listen one time, and him and Jelani did do one, but his routes are crispy, like super crisp. I implore you to just go and check it out, man. He's a phenomenal route runner.
Yeah, no doubt. I want to tell people, man, tomorrow, make sure you guys are here for the show. Daniel Sanchez is going to be on here. Daniel Sanchez from Pop's Pod. So, yeah, it'll be a great show. What's Gio saying? Hey, Dev, can you mention my name, big bro? Gio. Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah.
I mentioned it, Gio. Gio's
shout out
dude,
to Gio in the chat, baby. He's always here holding it down for us.
I see him all over the place. Okay, and now here we go. The Natural, you too, man. The Natural man.
Shout out to Natural.
Hey, you guys got me tripping with that. I definitely need to stop saying man so much. But how do I do that? How do I do that? Because if I try that, I lose my focus. You know? So I don't know what to do.
You just have to slow it down, and it takes over time. So like when we first started doing this, I was saying like all the time, like how you say man, and I just conscientiously like I have to stop. Remember you were saying how you used to go back and watch our film? I couldn't even do it because when we first started, I was like, man, this is cringy. But eventually I just actually started doing it. I was like, man, I'm saying that a lot. So I started slowing down when I would talk.
Yeah. I definitely sometimes when I go back, and I don't rewatch all the videos, but when I do, sometimes I don't even finish my words.
Yeah.
I just like cut off because I'm so I get this thought and I'm like so excited to talk about it that I just like abbreviate words and keep going.
And it's all good, man. It's all good, man.
Apparently you guys understand what I'm saying. Oh yeah, I'm not tripping. It is what it is. I got enough going on in life. We do this. We have a blast doing this. If this was my livelihood and I was professional, I might maybe dive into that and really make a change. But it just ain't like that. I'm trying to find a question to ask. This is a 5-pointer, everybody. We're about to ask a 5-point question. If I can find one to ask. This is ridiculous. We've asked so many of these questions.
You're supposed to already have this in the chamber, man.
I know, man. Hey, man.
You caught on finally.
I know. All right, here we go. Let me ask this one. 5-pointer. Are we ready? In 1914, which Ohio State player was the first to be named an All-American?
1914, nobody was alive. Somebody who got the fastest Google draw right now. Gaylord Stitchcomb.
Will Starr got it, dude. Will Starr got it.
Oh, Will Starr.
Yeah.
Will Starr got
Google.
None of us were alive during that time. You had to use Google for that.
Big Balls Johnson.
You guys are hilarious.
All right. So, Will Starr, you're up to 8 now, man. That jumped you up pretty good. The leaderboard is Steely with 13. The Natural has 15. The Natural's up by, but again,
I thought Steely
was
going to get that one. I think he's the only one that was born and was alive to remember 1914.
Yeah, it's Boyd Cherry. Boyd Cherry's the answer, and the remaining of this week there'll be 5-point questions. So again, a total of 20 points will be given out this week, and nobody even has 20 points yet. So there's an opportunity to just come out of nowhere and take it over. But I think that'll do it. There's some more updates and little things we wanted to get into tonight. we got plenty more shows to do that. Daniel will be on tomorrow. I believe he was there watching the practice before the scrimmage, and had some time to be around the team. So we'll talk about upcoming expectations, how excited he is as a dad to have Devin Sanchez as your son, and probably about to make a big impact on this team this year. So Mello, any closing thoughts?
Absolutely. Go ahead, sub to the Buckeye Boys. If you're not sub to Scoop, I don't know what you guys are doing. You need to sub to Scoop, sub to both. Don't miss tomorrow. Daniel Sanchez is going to be electric. It's going to be awesome. He's going to talk to us about what he saw. Maybe he's probably not going to go into too much details because we don't want to give away anything, but whatever he could talk about, he will, like the feel around the team and the energy. That'll be pretty good to dive into. But always remember, keep God first no matter what. Pray every day. If you got a problem, don't run to other people, run to God. He could take care of that and handle it better than any other person that you talk to. Trust me. I've been going through a lot the last 3 weeks. Started diving back into my Bible a lot more. Been praying a lot more. And it's been helping. It's been working. I'm starting to see the changes in the results, but I'm leaning on him instead of leaning on other humans, because other humans will let you down.
They will. Very well said, man. That's awesome. Somebody from the chat wants to know if we have any NCAA updates. I'm guessing that's the updates about how the Natty's getting stripped and all kind of things. That's the update. It's happening. I don't know. I'm not really waiting for the punishment because I know what the punishment's going to be. All you guys can just keep acting like no, we don't know what we're talking about. Nobody knows or whatever. We know. You're screwed. You did it. Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Catch us tomorrow, man. Got some more updates, and the rest of the week got a lot of good shows coming up. We appreciate y'all for watching. We love you guys. Go Buckeyes. OH.
I-O.